She's a bold fighter for Florida families and everyday people. Born and raised in Orlando, she's the daughter of working class Iranian immigrants who came to the U.S. in search of the American dream. She went to public schools, the University of Central Florida, and is a nonprofit professional currently seeking her PhD in public administration. Applause for that. She ran for office as a first-time candidate in 2018, flipped a legislative seat, and is proud to serve as a Florida State House representative for District 42, winning both of her reelection campaigns in a landslide. She currently serves as the chair of both the Orange County Legislative Delegation and the Florida Legislative Energy and Climate Caucus, a track record of kind sacrifice, endless hard work, and ironclad values, and is known across the state and nation as a leader who is unbothered, unbossed, and committed to the people of Florida. Please welcome Eskamani.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. And a big thank you to your executive director, Basma, for inviting me to join you all tonight as well. This is a very humbling experience for me. I just have such a deep gratitude for everything that your facilitators do in supporting our refugee and immigrant community. And of course, as a daughter of immigrants myself, I am in this fight with y'all, helping to make sure that we're supporting our immigrant community, we're supporting our refugees, and really upholding the values that define us as Americans, where we take care of those that are yearning to be free. As was mentioned, my name is Ana Eskamani. My family is originally from Iran, and I am the first Iranian American elected to any public office in Florida and only one of a handful across this country. And it was mentioned in my bio that my parents came to the United States in search of the American dream. And that doesn't tell the full picture. In fact, my parents came from different parts of Iran, but met in Orlando working at the same donut shop. And what's really interesting about my parents' origin story, about their migration story, is that they really didn't plan to stay in the United States. In fact, when my mom came to the United States, she was here to support her little brother. She was one of 5 kids. She was the oldest of those 5 kids. And the only one son was her little brother, the youngest of the 5, who the family wanted to see him be successful in the United States. So he was able to acquire a path to college, and my mom basically wanted to support him as that big sister. And she had every expectation to go back to Iran, much like many Iranians did who came to study in the United States. But because of the Islamic Revolution in 1979, there was, of course, displacement, with a lot of Iranians not knowing if it was safe to return, if they should return, other members trying to find a path out of Iran. And so that type of conflict led to a very diverse diaspora. And of course, a lot of struggles, because my mom in particular, she had a degree from Iran in accounting, but she was never able to use it here in the United States. So she ended up working at fast food restaurants and eventually at Kmart, which was one of our local department stores here in Florida. And my dad, he was younger when he came into the United States. So he was at least able to go to college. He worked while going to college, but he was able to get a degree in electrical engineering at UCF. And he would work as an engineer on the weekdays, but then picked up a second job at Walt Disney World as a customer service representative on the weekends just to make ends meet. And so my family is one of migration. It is one of facing very unique challenges, but also challenges that are not so unique when it comes to the immigrant experience. Because for many of our families and for many folks here, you travel with only what's on your back, and you have to build from scratch. You have to leave your mark and to find your village. And so for me growing up, I always had this unique appreciation for the challenges my parents went through, and a desire to ensure that I would do what I can to reflect their hard work and also, of course, honor them through my own action. And my mom, unfortunately, passed away in 2004 after a very long battle with cancer. And I was just 13 years old when that happened. And so that was a very difficult experience for me, too, because not only was I 13 and, going through the challenges of being a teenager, but of course, losing your mom at such a young age is very challenging for any young girl. And I actually started learning more about my mom's story by reading literature about Iranian women written by Iranian women. And I'm a firm believer that death may end a life, but doesn't end a relationship. And being able to read these stories of other Iranian women and the challenges they went through, not only did I feel like I was building a deeper relationship with my mom, but it made me a better advocate, especially for issues that are faced by women and girls, issues that are faced by immigrants, issues that are faced by folks who are facing different types of barriers because of their gender, because of their religion. And that is really what inspired me to get more civically involved. I became a huge advocate for women's rights and human rights all through my college years, and would eventually work in women's health. Then decided to run for office as a first-time candidate in 2018, flipping my seat from Republican to Democrat and keeping it that way now for 2 election cycles. And so I share part of my personal story with you because storytelling is a powerful tool. I have navigated a lot of difficult elections, a lot of difficult policy fights, and just a lot of difficult crises. Whether it is the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando or a global pandemic, these are all challenges where uncertainty is everywhere, and leadership rises in moments of uncertainty. And so I really want to encourage y'all, as you continue to share your stories and become stronger storytellers, to remember that you are needed right now. Your leadership is needed. Your voice is needed. There is so much uncertainty around us, especially in the realm of immigration policy and refugee services, that we don't have more everyday people speak up, more everyday people be the center of the conversation, folks to fight back against the bad policies and push for good policies, and the status quo will remain the same. And we will not deliver the promise to those who call this country home. And so keep up the great work. I'm just so proud of each one of you. Know that you always have a friend, ally, and accomplice in the Florida legislature. That as long as I am in a place of service, I will continue to be there by your side to defend you, to protect you, and to, of course, support you in your growth. I like to think of all of us as thrivers, right? We're each trying to thrive through our day to day and to make the world a better place than it was yesterday. And so thank you for being part of that work. Thank you for holding on to that hope as hard as it can be sometimes. And thank you for the space to share just a little bit more about me and my migration story.
Thank you so much, Representative Eskamani, for sharing that story with us as a fellow immigrant who grew up in Orlando and lost their mom. Everything you said just resonated with me so much. And so we're so grateful for you. We're so grateful for your support and for all that you do in the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here from our entire team to you.
Sorry. I'll say thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. And I'm gonna sit back and listen to some stories. My next meeting is not till 7, so I'm gonna turn off my camera, but I'm gonna sit back and listen to some more stories. So I really appreciate y'all, and just keep up the awesome work, and I hope to see you all very soon as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so with that amazing start, we are going to move on to our first storyteller from the New American Speakers Program. This is a person who I've had the privilege to work with over the last 10 weeks, and every week I am more and more amazed of how wonderful her story is.